Hey guys, it's Vesper Starwolf here with another video. It's been a hot minute. Sorry about that. I've been super busy working on my own personal projects, writing, and I got a new job that I've been doing. So, videos have been kind of put on the back burner for a little bit, but I'll still probably toss one out here and there, to keep things, I still want to make videos, so I'm still gonna do that a little bit. And see, even though I wear Morningstar for most of my videos now, Vesper's still here to give you guys book reviews. So, I haven't released a book review in a while because I haven't really read in a while. The thing is, sometimes some books take a little bit of a long time to read, and I was also reading some more informational books that I won't do reviews on the side about certain topics that I'm currently into. So it took a while to get this one finished, especially because it was a slog to get through. So today I'm reviewing Midnight Sun by Stephenie Meyer. What can I say about Midnight Sun? I know, Edward. I know. So, this book review might be a little different from my other ones. I always said I didn't want to do it on mainstream books, but I don't read enough to warrant not doing that. But I did want to make a review of this. So, it's kind of good. Whatever I make reviews on, it's going to vary. So, what is Midnight Sun? Well, if you live under a rock, it is Twilight from the Twilight saga, just from Edward's point of view. But if you don't know, and if I were to treat this as its own book, I would describe it as a book about a vampire that can read minds. He's an edgelord and always brooding. Until one day, there's a new human girl in town, Bella Swan, and he can't read her mind. And this makes him interested in her. And also her blood he really wants to eat her. And he just becomes more edgy and broody. Right, Edward? And that's the main conflict. If you've read Twilight or know anything about it, you know where the story goes. So this review is probably going to be fast because it's Twilight. So I will say before I get into the review of Midnight Sun that I know about Stephenie Meyer's controversial stuff. I'm not going to delve into that, but please look into it. I in no way support Stephenie Meyer. A little history lesson from me. I was super into Twilight, the Twilight saga, when I was in junior high. That's when it first came out. I named my cat Edward after one of the main characters. Isn't that right, buddy? What? And back then, I was obsessed with it. I loved it. I have all the books and seen all the movies multiple times. But I do acknowledge that it has so many flaws and is not really a good series. And I really wouldn't recommend supporting the author anymore. So that's just a little bit about my history. I don't really see it as good literature. It was like, Midnight Sun was more of an obligation. What did I think about it? Like I said, it was a bit of a slog to get through. It took me forever to read. It was boring because my main criticism of this book is that it was too much like Twilight. Because you could read it on its own and it would be fine. I don't know what you would get out of it, but it's meant to be read as Twilight from Edward's point of view. So it's just Twilight. So fans of the original are supposed to come and read it, but it's basically the same book. Even scenes Edward wasn't in the original, Stephenie Meyer has found a way to have it to where he is basically off somewhere where he can't be seen, observing, like spying on the situation. So every scene in basically every scene in Twilight is in this book as well. And that just makes for a boring read. Like, when it gets interesting is the stuff we haven't seen before, or when it gets into the backstory stuff, because one of Twilight's main strengths for me is that the background characters, the side characters, are a lot more interesting than the main characters, Edward, Bella, and Jacob. So that's where it wins, is when it gets into the other characters. Like, I really liked hearing about Carlisle and Edward's backstory, like their history, how Carlisle turned Edward into a vampire, and just how they lived their first few years of life together, forming like this weird little family. And that's where it wins. But what it doesn't win, at its lowest point, is scenes that we've seen all the times before. I don't know if it's the movie that's messing with my memory of the first Twilight book, which I have read twice, but I don't know if I'm misremembering things, but I feel like Stephenie Meyer got a few scenes wrong. Like, some of the things that happened in that book, I was like, I think that happened in a different way. And some of the things could have been delved more into. Because, like, before, we only see stuff through Bella's point of view. And I swear the fight between Edward and James at the end, spoilers by the way, but I don't know if anyone cares, but the fight between Edward and James at the end, through Bella's point of view, I thought it was more interesting and heightened and epic. Like, I thought there was more of a struggle. But in Midnight Sun, Edward just bursts in and yeets him across the room, and that's it. That's all the fight is. So that's like my main thing, is like, it can work writing the same book from a different character's perspective, but it has to be like, you should still make it different enough, and like the two scenes can, like, maybe they can converge occasionally, but like, delve into more of like where these characters are when they're not with the character of the first book originally, or do it from the point of view of a side character, like Alice or Emmett. Emmett would actually be a really interesting point of view, or even Carlisle. I love Carlisle. That would make the book so much more interesting. And I love reading romance stories from an outside perspective. So like, you have the two main love interests, and then you have a third person, which is maybe a friend or a family member, that's watching these two from the outside dance around each other, or like if it's a forbidden romance, they see them like sneak off together, and then it's like, what are they doing? Is it so? And I don't know, I just find that so much interesting. It had a lot of potential, and I'm sure if I read it back in the day, back when I was obsessed with Twilight, I probably would have loved it. But now that I'm older, and I know of the flaws of Twilight, and I no longer have those rose-covered glasses, I know that this is not a very good book. And while I was reading it, I realized one day someone might remake the first Twilight movie. So that's about it for my small little review of Midnight Sun. Would I recommend this book? Probably not. Who do I think would like this book? Probably people that are still super into Twilight. But at the same time, maybe not. I feel a lot of us have grown up and have kind of moved past Twilight. And I don't think much of a younger generation would be super into it. So who's this book for? I don't know, probably trying to eat off the nostalgia of the people who still wear those rose-tinted glasses. But, sorry it's short. Sorry if you were hoping I had other things to say about this book. I wanted to get this video out quickly because there's reviews on it that I want by YouTubers I really like that I wanted to watch. But I'm putting it off because I didn't want their reviews to affect my own. So these are my own words. I've not watched any reviews. These are just my own opinions really quickly because I'm sure what's been said about this book has been said enough already. But I just want to throw my 2 cents in and get this out for a review. But anyway, hopefully more videos are incoming. Might be a while because I have plans for like a bigger series that I've been really wanting to make, and it might be a little time consuming because I want to put a lot of tender love and care into it. So please look forward to that, and I hope you enjoyed the video. It's been so long since I made any. I don't know how to talk to people anymore. Don't know how to end this. So anyway, thank you so much for watching the video. Bye!